Hi, my name is Ala. I work in the Library of Alexandria, and also I'm a civil work activist in Alexandria community, basically. And when you mentioned the topic of new democracies and people in power, I had in mind a lot of ideas, and I would like to talk about new democracy in Egypt, and simply mentioning that citizens in Egypt, they want democracy, and they want people who are in parliament who can represent them in the best way. And actually, after the revolution and after 30 years of dictatorship by ex-president Mubarak, people still waiting in lines for loaf of bread or gas tubes. We still have the problem, but we are able to talk, and we are able to 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 say it in a loud voice that we need help. We have demands. We have things to say. We have ideas to share with people in power. And actually, by talking about people in power, I we I mean SCAF, and I mean liberalists, and I mean Islamists. These are the three basic powers that we have here in Egypt. Uh, First, we talk about the SCAF, and we say that we are very grateful for them because they just give us a hand to just um, transfer ourselves from people who are many in deep problems, and many in a dark time of Mubarak, to more hopeful uh, time or phase. We are being treated now as people. We're in the first stage of being humans now, and appreciating our new democratic ways of living, but we're still in the beginning. SCAF helped us to change our seats from being only observers to people who are involved. And now we want to say that we don't need politicians, we don't need new politicians, we only need a better system. Talking about SCAF, they now are changing. They are not the same people who are supportive as we think they are. Now they are trying to impose their ideas, and they're trying to impose their way of thinking of democracy. They have their own rules, but these should be kept in the military force, in this kind of life, not in life of people, general people, citizens. They are not to be treated as military uh, parts of the whole entity. And also, when I talk about people in power, I talk about Islamists and I talk about liberals. They both had the elections, parliamentary elections, and I would like to say it is about democracy to have Muslim Brotherhood having the majority of seats. It's not democratic as I say it, but people say so, so I should keep my positive side of thinking. Um, they're being very persuasive to have people supporting them. People support their vision. People support their way of handling and talking about religion, and getting into politics, which is something I really don't appreciate. And I don't really think that politics and religion should be uh, uh, together being together in ruling a country. They should be kept aside from each other. Both have their own ideas, and we should respect both points, but they shouldn't be gathered together in one thing, which is ruling the country. Because we don't have one religion in Egypt. We have Egyptians who are Muslims, and have Christians. If we think that we have Muslim majority, and so Christians are not really involved in ruling country, or having their say in ruling the country, so we're deeply mistaken. We should keep the positive relation and the love between both sides. So by having Muslim Brotherhood or even Salafis growing power in Egypt, by having them saying that we should rule and we should have Sharia and so on. What about the Christians? We should think about the Christians also and give them kind of respect. We're living together for many years and we should give them this kind of respect. So, aside from SCAF and their way of imposing their violent ideas, we have also the Muslim Brotherhood and we have the Salafis. And they should work hand in hand with the liberals to find a way, because we have to remember that they were both on the same side against Mubarak one day and against free officers one day and against one party system. They were both as an opposite side from the National Democratic Party. So they should remember that they were together in one side. They should work together now as the only side and manage to make Egypt more beautiful, more developed, and have a lot of issues solved together, not just by no, I'm the right person to talk about it. No, you're not even qualified. You don't have the experience. No, they should help each other to have the same experience. Both of them lived in Egypt. They should have something to say which is positive, not negative. So to be short, I think that we have three powers in Egypt. They should work together. Maybe SCAF will not stay for long because they till now they're being hurting Egyptians and being like they're misbehaving so much so that they're no longer invited to have the last or final say of anything. So we have new powers should be staying for a long period of time. The Muslim Brotherhood and Salafis having problems now together. Who will rule and who is the expert in Islamic studies, which is something that shouldn't be valued this way. We have our own interpretation of Quran, and we have our own interpretation of the Prophet's sayings and everything. We should have this as a respectful beginning of being role models for others. And we have also liberalists who have their own vision of seeing Egypt very developed and not anymore a developing countries as it is should be a developed countries by now. And for me, as a woman, I think that I have a lot of demands and I have a lot of issues with the political powers and with the system in Egypt. For me, I think I should have more dignity and have more respect. I should be given a lot of freedom to speak, freedom to practice my religion, freedom to walk in the street with no fear. No fear from SCAF, no fear from political powers, no fear from men, no fear from anyone who's wearing suit. I should have my own way of living in my country with my conditions, but with the limit of being respectful and respecting also the system I live in. So for me as a woman, I also saw the women who were beaten and on TV, and this is actually why I'm telling you this. That's why I'm saying that we still have more issues that you think it's solved in for women. I know that we're not living in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabians are living in more worse conditions, but let us see if they're beating their women and media is covering all this. They don't do this, and this is shameful. It shouldn't have happened, and they should be responsible for the outcomes of such behavior, even though they think that they didn't do this by purpose or it has other condition or the girl is not even a good girl or a decent one. It shouldn't be like that. You're responsible. This happened already and it's in media, and you should think of the next step, how you can keep relations good and keep your reputation as a SCAF. And also for Muslim Brotherhood and their reaction towards what happened, it wasn't really inviting. It wasn't really a good step for them if they want to get close to the ruling, and that's what they were thinking of years and years before. They only think they should be in power. What about be empowered to serve people? If that's what they want to rule for serving people, they should mention it occasionally. They should mention it from one time or another. Now I see women beaten, and reaction is not inviting. They never say that we condemn what happened and we condemn SCAP for what they did. We never heard this tone. We don't have this kind of power against SCAF that should tell them you did something wrong and should be taking the responsibility of it. No one said so. They were afraid of the SCAF. So, and I see the liberalists, they did it. They said uh, it's not even what should have happened. It's not even something you should keep your eyes shut about it. You should open your eyes and see your responsibility and deal with it. If SCAF can do this, so they should um, leave their place, leave their office to someone who can. We say we have parliamentary elections and we have the next elections. We have the problem that Islamists, especially Muslim Brotherhood and Salafis, they're thinking of changing the presidential elections and changing the way of ruling Egypt from a presidential one to a parliamentary one. Now we are seeing they trying to make uh, meetings, private meetings, and undercover meetings uh, concerning this point. And I'm as a citizen, I'm just a normal person. I say I'm afraid that they are thinking in a way, and the way of ruling isn't really much. It's not based on holding each other hands and going through this together. No, it's more like we want to be the only one in the picture. We want to be the only one who's saying something and should be done the way we want it. They're also imposing their ideas the same way SCAF did. They also want to have their say and the last say of anything, and being also a new kind of a dictator. This is a new level of dictatorship, which is something I really feel like it's a negative point. But to keep my positive side high, I would like to say finally that we are not going to stop asking for our demands. We're not going to stop our revolution until we feel like it's done. It's already done. We have everything we need. We have everything prepared for our next step, which is development, which is working, which is starting to dream and achieve our dreams the way it should be. I hope that one day SCAF will realize that they did a lot of things. They should apologize for it. We don't need their apology as much as we need their support in the next phase. We need their security, their way of thinking about Egypt the same way we think about it as citizens. We need them to protect our nationality. It's very important for us to protect our nationality, and our nationality is not based on uh, uh, religious or tribal kind of thinking. No, we're thinking about an Egyptian, a person who is living in this country and have rights and have duties. If we can manage this also through our constitution, if we could manage this, we can solve all our problems and only think about our future. And also for the groups, the Islamists and the liberalists, if they don't have the experience, they should get it. If they don't have it, they should get it. And if they have it, they should share it. This is an important thing to say. And for me, I will not stop thinking about Egypt. I will not leave Egypt or thinking of I should get out of this place. It's not even suitable for a woman. No, it's my place. I should keep it. Should protect my space in this country, and I should love it, because loving is the first step to anything. Anything can be achieved. First, you should love it. Thank you.